To start off with our spooky time fun, I went to Wendigo Fest with friends 2 nights in a row. This was my first time going and I had a wicked blast. Lots of cool people in great costumes, the entertainment was fun, and the vendors were great. I as well got many compliments on my look. Looking forward to the next year. Maybe I'll see you guys there. Remember, Wendigo Fest in Manitowoc. There was even a skeleton that was over 12 feet long that you could have won. How cool would that be to have? If you've seen our videos before, you'll know we love glamping, so it just makes sense to go to a Halloween theme. This year, we went to Evergreen Camp Resort. I prepared Halloween-themed meals to make it extra spooky. The start of our trip was rough since we had trouble getting into our cabin. Even the master key wouldn't work and they had to call a locksmith. But luckily they finally got it open for us and we could finally get settled into our cabin. We all loved the trick-or-treating and other activities there. For trick-or-treating, we just left a big cauldron full of good candy such as Snickers, Kit Kats, Reese's, you get it, the good candy that we all like. That way we can go trick-or-treating with our daughter, who was Chucky by the way. Our cabin was hidden in the corner and the surrounding cabins didn't participate, so not a lot of candy was taken by the time we got back. So for the remaining hour of trick-or-treat time, the few kids that did stop by got massive handfuls of candy. Let me tell you, their faces lit up. It was so cute. We all enjoyed playing miniature golf before trick-or-treating. I think it was my husband that actually won, but for the most part, we were just playing for fun anyway. Once we realized that not a whole lot of trick-or-treaters were coming into our area, I ended up taking down the Please Take Two sign. But I think I did a really good job making it. Oh well, those last few kids that stopped by to get massive handfuls of candy was pretty great. We did have a really fun time here. The trick-or-treating was great. Will we come back? Maybe just as a last resort, just because we love Halloween at Jellystone Campground so much more. But we still had a blast. Lots of tricks, lots of treats. Getting locked out of the cabin was definitely a trick, but the candy was at least a treat. By the way, if you know your favorite Halloween movie, comment down below. Ours is actually Hocus Pocus. We've seen that movie so many times. We went to Apple Fest in hopes for caramel apples, but none were there, so I was really sad about that. However, Melody did have fun on the inflatables while we were there. Some decent vendors, but not much there like past years. We did get these deep fried apples with caramel, but it just wasn't the same. I ended up only buying one item for myself, and that was a necklace with a scorpion inside. No matter what, I will always attend Apple Fest just because it holds so many good memories of me coming here with family members. Even though some of those family members aren't with me today, I will always cherish those wonderful memories with them. They also had never had these inflatables when my brothers and I were little. So a bit jealous that these were here. And too bad they weren't there when we were younger, because as a kid it was a bit boring just walking around while your parents shopped. I mean, now I like it because I'm an adult and I like shopping. But as a kid, man, this would have been awesome to have. There was one year when I was little, they had blue raspberry kettle corn. Best thing I ever had, but ever since then, I can't find it anymore. Our second time attending Zoo Boo at the new zoo. Melody went as a vampire, and we bumped into a fantastic friend since I've known since middle school, and the two girls who are also friends with Melody. There was a haunted house, well, kind of like a trail, I suppose. There was also inflatables, trick-or-treating, the carousel with unlimited rides, so Melody did love that one a whole lot. And of course the animals at the zoo as well. The zoo did a great job decorating their zoo for Halloween festivities, and for sure, as always, we will always be back again. I just love seeing all the cool skeletons that they have. There was a rock band skeleton group, the mermaids, the pirates, skeletons camping, grilling out, pretty much anything kind of thing that you could do for, I guess, a lot of skeletons, and there was a lot of skeletons there. If you do decide to come here, just remember to dress well for the weather, and don't forget a costume or trick-or-treat bag. However, if you do forget a bag, they do have bags provided as well. They just seem a little bit small, but that's okay. It's not going to be a whole ton of candy. After we were done with the zoo and heading back home, I freaked out so much because when I looked in the mirror, I noticed one of my contacts was missing. But it turned out that when I lifted up my eyelid, it was stuck up way in the top, like I could just barely see the contact. So that was one of my worst fears about wearing contacts, was it would get lost. But luckily I just kind of instantly freaked out, so my finger ended up just barely touching the contact, so when I blinked again it was perfectly back in place. But it definitely freaked me out for a while. So this was actually the same day as Apple Fest, just Apple Fest was in the morning and this was in the evening. So Melody got to do inflatables and bouncy houses twice in one day. So that was pretty awesome for her. She loves them. I think all kids do. This was the first year Melody and I made a haunted house out of cookies. We did buy a pre-kit from the store. Melody has been wanting to make one of these for the very longest time, and finally we did it. The kit came with the already shaped cookie walls and roof, frosting, fondant, and sprinkles, so everything that you would need to make this. However, at home we did have frosting and Halloween sprinkles from last year to add even more to our cookie haunted house, because more frosting the better, plus it just looks more delicious. So at first we had a tough time trying to get our walls to stick up or even together. It seemed like the frosting wasn't drying fast enough, so while I was holding the walls in place, I had Melody draw a plan on how we should decorate our haunted cookie house. Overall, this was a fun Halloween activity together. Maybe one year we can do this without buying a kit. Yes, I did get sick of holding the walls, and I supported the walls by leaning mugs against them because my arms were getting tired and I just did not want to hold them any longer. Some progress of our spooky haunted house, looking good so far. Melody was pretty proud of it. I was proud of it so far. We put a lot of frosting on this house, and for our first time doing this, we were overall pretty satisfied with our haunted house. to a haunted woods with my brother and his friends. I didn't get a lot of videos because no videotaping on the trail was allowed, and I wanted to make sure that I was respectful about that. It was pretty decent. It wasn't super scary, just about perfectly family friendly, I would say. Right now Melody and I are about to do a photo shoot event. It looks like that we're actually the first ones here at the event. We're just waiting for other photographers and models to show up. This is not my first photo shoot here at this place, but it is Melody's. As you can see, we're kind of wearing a little bit of creepy makeup. I actually probably have to add some more to my face because I look a little bit too pretty for a dead person.
Got my dress on.
Yep, beautiful dress. We got.
You can see a little bit of it.
We got some props. I'll be modeling with my daughter today, and then I also did bring my camera as well, so I can also do some horror type photography here as well. So the person that hosts all these events, thank you very much. It is Catherine's Events. I think this is my third event that she actually hosted. Unfortunately, where this photo shoot is going to be, it's the last time at this location. So future photo shoots hosted by Catherine's Events will be at a different location. For Melody's first group shoot, she did well. She had fun posing and enjoyed the photographers and models. She did also like the two dogs and goats. Not the goose so much, but no one liked the goose. It was a very mean goose. And then on her way back home, Melody was telling me she would like to be a photographer too. She is my mini-me. A fun Halloween activity we did was Bob for Apples, Melody's first time actually. There was a lot of giggling, a little bit of frustration, but after some time, Melody finally got her apple. Ta-da! Melody loves this place because of the corn maze, slide, and other fun activities here. My brother also came along with us this time, and also a friend of his. As it got darker, it was getting a little bit colder, so we just tried hurrying up to get out of the maze faster. We each got a glow stick when we purchased our corn maze tickets. After some time, we finally reached the end. After that, we headed over to the pumpkin patch to choose our 2 pumpkins for our pumpkin carvings. By the way, I believe it only costs money to do the corn maze. I think there's a hayride there that also costs money. There was a thing there where I think you shoot corn out of a cannon into a field. That might cost money too. I'm not entirely sure, but for sure the corn maze and the hayride cost money. But for the most part, everything else, activities-wise, is free. You don't have to pay any money to here. So if you don't have a lot of money for Halloween activities or events, this is really good for the whole family. This year we did a Hocus Pocus themed birthday party. I did say earlier our favorite Halloween movie was Hocus Pocus, didn't I? Anyway, I made the spellbook cake by myself. I'm very proud of it actually, and everyone else seemed to love it as well. It was a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and vanilla frosting, as well with some fondant as well, and a gummy ball eyeball. And I also made Binks the cat too out of Rice Krispies and fondant. One of the activities we did for the birthday party was called Witches Cast a Spell, which was pretty much charades. Another game we did was called Crystal Ball, What's in Your Future? I bought some fun affordable prizes and wrapped them up in plastic wrap, one by one, and then the girls had to quickly unravel the plastic wrap before time was up. It was another successful game. Also, the reason why I called it Crystal Ball, What's in Your Future, is because once you have all the prizes wrapped up, it kind of looks like a ball. And because it was a Hocus Pocus theme. Another simple game was Feed the Spider, where the girls had to toss plastic bugs to a web. Our last game, Pass the Pumpkin. Girls would keep passing the pumpkin around until the music stopped. Whoever was holding it would answer a fun Halloween question. It's finally time to carve our pumpkins back from Polly's pumpkin patch. Melody is making a zombie unicorn and I made a fairy house. I think they turned out pretty good. We did enter them in the Piggly Wiggly pumpkin contest, so I guess we'll see if we win anything. I didn't start making my costume until days before the event. I decided I wanted to do a sea witch with tentacles. I didn't have a lot of money to splurge, so I tried to get creative from what I had at home. So now that it's time for the party and to complete the look, this is how it turned out. Sorry for the shaky camera, it was kind of hard to hold my phone with these nails. But anyway, this is me as a evil sea witch with tentacles. For not too much to work with and a hot glue gun, I think I did pretty okay to complete this within a couple of days. I always love wearing these contacts, and I had the dragon ears too, along with this really cool wig that I absolutely love wearing as well. We played some games, ate, and had a great time. I wasn't confident I would win, but I ended up winning first place for best costume. I hope you all had a fantastic spooky season and happy Halloween!